GameStop, a $13.5 billion company now. Is it the public's right? Is it a populist issue that politicians should get involved in, the right to buy GameStop at a $13.5 billion valuation?
You know, Joe, we know each other a long time. It feels a little over my pay grade. You know, the president is not allowed on most of the internet right now, so it's a slippery slope. I'm glad I don't have to make that big decision, which is why I get to wear a sweatshirt. But I've seen this building, and I've been writing about it for years. You have this massive unbundling of, for a decade, people were told to set and forget, put their money in an index. And with that came problems too. You know, that led to really bad behavior at corporate level in the banks, Wells Fargo. If you can behave badly and next day or next month, the world puts their money into their 401k and that blindly gets allocated to indexes, that's pretty bad behavior on the corporate side. On this side, it's hard for me to say if people should be allowed to do something really dumb. You know, the stock is trading. I feel like I don't know all the mechanics behind it, but it was not seeming like a great decision leading up to letting people own these things and then pulling the rug.
Right.
It's sort of fascinating people's weighing in on, if you reverse it, I think what everyone's sort of frustrated by, and I'm keen on your talk to hear your thoughts as, you know, StockTwits being the largest social network for investors and for traders, they're all talking about this on your platform. If the shoe was on the other foot, and if it had been the hedge funds and the institutional investors that were reaping in all the money and it was the retail investors that were losing it, would the same thing be happening, do you think? Because everyone's got this cynical idea that people are stopping this sort of transaction because Wall Street's losing.
I don't know. It's a really good question. I think what the most important thing I saw today was the internet's very loud if you're listening to the wrong channel, I guess. And the market behaved very well considering how angry the mobs were. Like, so it just feels, and if you look at the #1 app in the App Store, it's Robinhood. So I can't tell who won or lost. I definitely lost. People yelled at me all day. So maybe, you know, and people were yelling on the internet all day. But we saw this building, you know, the message volume on StockTwits on the AMC and GameStop stream. So for example, AMC yesterday did 130,000 messages. That's people putting $GME and typing something. That's not a bot. Okay, that is just a fact. Tesla last year in its major run in December was doing 30,000 messages a day, and that's almost $1 trillion company. So people have lost their mind over this. It's in the consciousness, and because it's so easy to buy a share or half a share or trade a one lot around the world now of options, people played. My daughter was calling me, who has a Robinhood account. My friends are following you, Howard. What should they do? And my advice to them was, do not get involved in these silly parts of the market. That's all. We need to educate people. They're going to do what they're going to do. But whoever would listen to me the last few days, all I could say is, I'm not going to do that. And if I am going to do it, it's going to be with 10 shares so I can learn, or 3,000 shares so I can learn, depending on your wealth level, not with options and derivatives of something that has no value.
But Howard, there's obviously a lot of people who just sort of jumped on the train at the end with no real research at all. There's an argument to be made that what we saw sort of come up out of these Discord servers, out of these Reddit boards, was some degree of research, some degree of assessment of risk, and some degree of assessment of value. Now, whether we agree with that or not, I mean, that's neither here nor there. That was really the catalyst for a lot of this move higher. Why should that, it's in and of itself, get sort of, I guess, clamped down just simply because a bunch of people came in at the end and decided just to try to ride the wave?
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, I woke up this morning and got yelled at. You know, generally.
Does that happen often?
Generally, only my family yells at me. Today, the internet was yelling at me. So in trying to decipher the noise, I would say, yeah, sounds like some bad decisions were made early in the morning. But again, that part's over my pay grade. all we can do as a media company, and all you can do, and all people can do, is understand what you own, understand what you're doing. Of course, there was great research, but Michael Burry, who thought it was a great buy, was supposedly an incredible hedge fund manager, wrote it from 4 to 10, right, at GameStop. So even he, the person who got the whole Reddit board supposedly started 18 months ago, said this is insane. So again, pick your poison. I'm sure great research was done, but there's a lot of sloppy behavior. And when it's your money, people can walk into a Walmart store and buy bullets. I mean, I get it. Like, I want this country to, like, people to have choices and the markets to stay open and let people do things. So I get all that part. This is upsetting to someone like me at StockTwits. You want people yell all day as long as they follow certain rules.
Real quickly, Howard, I mean, is this a tension that you think about? These sort of open platforms, fantastic for education, fantastic for learning. I've learned so much from the people on Twitter, for example, who post about the markets throughout my career. Indispensable. But on the other hand, and we see it outside of markets as well, there's manias and group behavior and misinformation, and people might call them mobs, figurative and literal, that get whipped up by social media. So as a platform, how do you think about the pluses and minuses of that?
Great question, Joe, because you've been doing this a long time. This is all I think about, is what's the responsibility, right? I don't think these hedge fund managers or Citadel or even Robinhood, maybe Robinhood closest to it because they're number one in the App Store or TikTok because they see this traffic daily. But hedge funds had never seen anything like this. They had not seen or understood 20 million people new in the United States opening brokerage accounts focused on one little one little ticker. There's 400 million more millennials in China coming on board. The stock market is a complex thing.
Right. And
there's so many new players that decided to do one thing at the same time and push the same button. I guess we're lucky it was GameStop at many levels. Yeah. And it wasn't just sell the S&P. And I think that's kind of what I'm trying to worry about with my money and with people that follow me. Right. I'm trying to decipher what that means, because this is not going away. What Robinhood did right or wrong, I can't argue with. I feel terrible for people because I've been on the other side of bad trades. Right. Yeah. And I know how badly that feels. So when people are yelling at me, I understand why. But at the same time, the bigger issue is this is a game. Roblox is going public. That's a game. The stock market is a bit of a game. Yeah. And there's so many more people playing, and these flash mobs are here to stay.